Good morning, my beautiful babes and babettes. I am your resident active advocate, and I am here to talk to you today about the importance of self love and self care when one has depression or anxiety disorders. Ordinarily, I would say that these two are coupled together, or at least very often they are coupled together. I have heard it said, I don't know how true this will ring for everyone, but I have heard it said that depression is living in the past, while anxiety is living in the future. If you're depressed and living in the past, it means that you're worried about what you have done in the past and how it's led up to you, quote unquote, not being good enough now. And I've talked about the whole thing with the ego and the self perception of I'm not good enough because I don't measure up to XYZ. Versus anxiety is worrying more about what will happen in the future, how you think you're probably going to screw it up, how you think you're probably not going to make it, whatever that means. Making it is a different concept, I think, for everyone, even though the West, especially, has, you know, moral and physical standards about what making it actually means. But where is the upper financial threshold that defines making it? Where is the upper happiness threshold that defines making it? All of these different things that we think we need: beauty, status, the good job, the good family. It's not necessarily the case that any or all of these will, quote, complete us, because human beings are not things that can be completed. We are constantly a work in progress because we are constantly changing. The only constant in life is change. I think that self care and self compassion boils down to knowing that no matter where you are in life, you are where you are, and therefore you are no better and no worse than anyone else because they all are where they are in their life right now. No one can be accurately compared to anyone else by any external standard, even because everyone is different. Everyone has gone down a different path. Everyone has a different understanding of what happiness actually is. You could be rolling in it. You could have rubies and diamonds and emeralds and coins and just flooding your house, and you can still be unhappy because it's not the money that's going to fulfill your dreams. Yes, I will concede that money can make more things possible for people, and that's why people confuse wealth with happiness. But they're not necessarily the same thing. They're not intrinsically the same thing. You can get happiness from anything, anything, so long as you're not causing harm to other people or to yourself. Because self harm and the harm of others is basically the opposite of what the world needs for things to get happier around us. Currently, we're stuck in the middle of a pandemic that has isolated a lot of us from a lot of us. I mean, if for the past half a year you've only really been able to see the people in your immediate social circle, then that can lead to a lack of happiness because human connection, as I have stated before, is very important for happiness and for self love and for self care. Caring for others can be the same as caring for yourself because it really does give you this feeling of having accomplished something. I know that this sounds very trite, I know that this is very cliche, but really, helping other people can make you very happy because it's an external thing. And everything in our world is judged by some kind of external standard rather than the internal standard, even though the external standard is relative. But if helping others is your jam, then do that. Whenever you have the energy to give to others, it's the same as giving to yourself, I find. When you don't have the energy to do this, do not do this. Care needs to start at home. In other words, it needs to start with you. So, if you are in a state of chronic depression, and let's say you're eating poorly and you're not going outside and you're sleeping very badly, because I know that sleeping disorders can pop up with depression as well. Not getting enough sleep or getting too much sleep, just always wanting to be in bed because you don't feel like there's a reason for you to get up. There's always a reason to get up. Always. Even if it's a bad reason. Because anger is still better than depression. Depression is apathy. Depression is the lack of emotion. Even if there's something that makes you pissed off that gets you out of bed, it still gets you out of bed. You know, that job you hate, and that can be a primary cause of depression as well. Not feeling fulfilled in one's life choices, one's life standards, these different things, because they are external. Happiness starts in here and is projected out here. You need to take care of yourself before you can take care of others. Taking care of others can help you take care of yourself. These things work fairly symbiotically, but if you're not in a good enough mental state or physical state that you feel you can help others, please, by all means, take care of your own house first. Get your own house in order. Maybe just make yourself one good meal. Just one good meal. And it might give you the energy you need. And I don't mean junk food, I mean health food. And yeah, it doesn't taste like anything. Yes, it does. Once you get used to it, that's the thing. The American diet is also not very good for mood improvement because there's no nutrients in fast food. And you need nutrients to maintain not only your body, but your mind. So, I'm not a dietitian. You probably know what works best for your body. Everyone knows what the difference is between junk food and healthy food. At least in general terms. But basically what I'm saying is try to get enough food. Try to get enough sleep. Don't be so damn hard on yourself. This whole thing about judging yourself based on the external standard, that is probably the primary cause of most people's depression in America. And as I said before, 40% of people in America have some form of depression. Do you know how ludicrously bad that is? Don't think about the badness, though. Try to think about 60% of people don't, and I could be part of that 60%. It's not going to go away. It's not going to go away overnight. It might go away over the course of your life, but things can get better if you treat yourself with love and compassion and don't judge yourself by the unreasonable standards set for you by the external world that says you must be this, or you are not complete, you are not good enough, you are not perfect by whatever standard we choose it is today. These standards shift, which is why they're relative, which is why they shouldn't be standards at all. The only standard that can be constant is the standard for yourself. And the only way to ensure that you are better than you were yesterday is to give more effort than you gave yesterday. And that is all I have to say about self-care and self-love, at least for today. There will probably be more on this, but I really want to hear from you guys in the comments what your routine is, if you have one, or what you would like your routine to be in terms of giving yourself love. And yes, that can even include kinky stuff, which, hey, I mean, if that's your jam, go ahead, because it's purely human. It's beautiful. All right, I will see you not tomorrow, but on Monday, because I take the weekends off. And I will talk to you probably more about this at that point, because depression, I think, is a very important topic to address, because it affects so many people. All right, adios, my beautiful babes and babettes. Mwah!